Master Jonathan, instructors, and fellow candidates. Master Jonathan has asked me to say a few words this morning to explain something special that's going on today at Cobourg Tae Kwon Do. Even though this is the midterm grading for our 2019 candidates, as of this morning, I am being allowed to test for my actual black belt. The reason I'm being allowed to test is because I had to withdraw from last year's grading. And the reason I had to withdraw is because I have cancer. Last year, when they had our black belt grading day, I was recovering from my third surgery for bladder cancer, which has now spread to my liver and my spine. So in the last year, I've had to have 6 rounds of bladder cancer treatment. I've had to do 12 rounds of full body cancer treatment, and I've had to have 6 rounds of radiation therapy on my back. One of the things that this has taught me is one of the big tenets of Taekwondo, the one that's right there on the wall, perseverance. I've had a very tough year medically, but even when I couldn't do anything, sometimes I could hardly get off the couch, I'd still made an effort to be able to come to classes, to do things, to study, and to try and keep improving myself to achieve this honor of being allowed to test for my black belt. No matter what life puts in your way, you just have to keep trying. There's always a way through, there's always a way to work through it. The most important thing I want to say today is I want to thank all the instructors and all my fellow candidates for all your help and support over over my journey to black belt. It's meant a whole lot to me to have you all helping me to succeed and be the best that I can be. So I'm so happy to be here today, to be part of your journey, and I wish you all the best, and thank you for everything, and thank you, Master Jonathan, sir.
He definitely did a good job, and I think that was the best that he could do. Even if I was in his position too, it would be as good as it possibly could be. And dealing with the challenges, I think that it was hard to get over them, but he definitely overcame them.
So everything that Eric has gone through to make it to this day is a far greater challenge than what most of us will ever have to face. He has truly earned his black belt. He has shown us what perseverance and what noble spirit really is. He has inspired the rest of us to do greater things, to challenge the challenges that we have and conquer them. As Eric's master instructor, as his fellow teammate of Team Wolverine, as his friend, I am very happy to say that Eric is one of our newest black belts, and just want to say that, for all the challenges, for all the extra training, for all of the private lessons that he's gone through, all the surgery, all the doctors, and all the treatment, Eric is an example for all of us to live by. So congratulations, Eric, on achieving your black belt and inspiring the rest of us to be better versions of ourselves.
For the private lessons, I worked on memorization, and then we slowly got better at performing it, and I think at the grading he did really well. And he was really confident, and I think he was really happy, and I'm proud of how he did.
It's been my pleasure to watch Eric train. He started his black belt journey. Last year had to give it a bit of rest, and he came back fighting. It was my pleasure to watch him do the midterm grading, and he was a true warrior. He's up against challenges that hopefully none of us will ever have to go through, and he came through amazingly. And he's an example for the whole club and every member of just what determination can achieve. So keep fighting, Eric. Great job.
I got to train with Eric doing ground self-defense. It was a small part of a large journey that Eric was on, a difficult journey. Doing the training with him, I got to learn about his background in wrestling, and you could see his moves transform into the ground self-defense. And I got to hear a little bit about his story and his struggles, and it was very inspiring to see Eric get his black belt. He definitely earned it. He embodies the spirit of Taekwondo, perseverance, indomitable spirit, and I was very happy to be a part of it.
Self-defense moves. He'd have no difficulty disarming an assailant. I know that he worked very, very hard preparing for this day, and he absolutely deserved it. He demonstrated perseverance, and he demonstrated rising up to any adversity. Good job, Eric.
I think Eric did really well with his ground defense. He learned everything really well and memorized it. So you could tell every time we went to throw a technique or do something on the ground, he knew what to do and how to move, and it really showed that he really knew his stuff when it came to the ground defense.
Privilege of working with Eric for his black belt with mitt drills, and Eric is a breaker and was the world champion breaker and the breaker of the year last year. So his hammer fist is incredible. I was holding the mitt and he was almost ripping my arm off. I've never seen someone with such dedication. He's amazing and he really deserves his black belt.
Yeah, so I told Eric when we were out on our walk that it was one of the toughest things I've ever seen in grading. It was the toughest grading I'd ever been through. Just watching him, doing his damnedest, working his hardest, and putting his all in. I thought it was really a pretty amazing thing to see.
Congratulations, Eric, on your black belt. It's a great achievement. You've overcome many, many hurdles and have become a huge role model for all of the students. Congratulations, all the best, and welcome to the black belt family.
So Eric and I started out here together at Cobourg Tae Kwon Do roughly around the same time. In fact, during our first official belt grading, we were paired up as sparring partners, which makes it quite fitting that come black belt grading we had the opportunity to pair up again. Eric brings an incredible amount of intensity and passion in martial arts like I've never seen before. I wish him all the best going forward, and congratulations, Eric, on earning your black belt. You did a great job.
on the uniform. Now I'm going to like a clock. So, one club, I roll on the front here, one club, and got the uniform. Look underneath.
Oh, thank you so much.
So what I want you to do is you're going to go put it up while we are going to set something else up. And we'll do the club recipe.
Thank you, sir.
I thought that Sir had him do everything that was required for a black belt in Cobourg Taekwondo. He put him through everything that he should have gone through in order to get the belt. One thing I noticed about him was his strength, and he just went into one thing after the other without even thinking what he was doing. Self-defense was amazing. Even his musical pattern, it was really awesome. He wasn't nervous or anything. I really admired him. The best part was when he actually when he put his belt on, he turned around and faced everybody. That was really probably the best part for me.
So, as a group, we have two sessions here. The first one, we all actually intended to side it. Sure, and then here in the honor and I want to bring you close your eyes and take a few moments to reflect upon and welcome Eric to the rank of black belt. So, and what turn you at, so let's then welcome. Again, so, let's follow the camera. Now.
It feels really amazing. It's been a long journey. It's been 4.5 years. A lot of hard times, a lot of injuries, can overcome some adversities. But now that it's done, it feels really good. And it feels incredible to have earned it at a school where you really have to earn it. It was so incredible to walk into that dojang on Saturday and see all my fellow candidates and all those who had gone before me to stand there and watch me come in. That meant a whole lot to me. The biggest challenge for me for my grading was my cardio. because I had just had the cancer treatment, the radiation in December, my cardio was a mile off. So I felt I was struggling for breath the whole time, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't let everybody down. I just had to keep going. There was no way I was going to stop. I had to take a little break for a second just to catch myself, but I wasn't going to stop. The instructors that I worked with for my demonstrations during my grading were all people that I have the utmost respect for, and I've learned much from them over the years. Sir Al, that I did the Hanbans with, he was one of the first people at Cobourg Taekwondo to take me under his wing and teach me the way. It was very exciting for me to spar with Cheryl for my sparring demonstration, because she was the very first sparring partner I ever had at Cobourg Taekwondo. We started the same week, and for the first week in class it was her and I sparring each other. Working with Samantha Hamilton is always a real privilege, because she is so dedicated, and not to herself but to helping everyone else. She's the den mother that every club needs. So just having the opportunity to work with these people that I've had the privilege to be associated with for the last 4.5 years was just an absolute honor on my part. During the last 2 months, to catch up on, to get my patterns correct, to work on all these skills that I needed to develop, I spent many hours working with Ma'am Stacy and Ma'am Athena to doing private lessons here at Cobourg Taekwondo. Even though they are some of our younger students, their influence on me was incredible. And I've already messaged them both to say, this black belt is as much theirs as it is mine, because without their help and assistance, it wouldn't have happened. My final thoughts are, no matter what life gives you, there are always going to be tests in your life. There's things you're going to have to do that you don't think you can do. You just have to dig deep and keep going. Whether it's Taekwondo, a black belt grading, and it's not just finishing things, it's starting things. You can't be afraid, I'm hurt, I'm sick, I can't do this. You even start it. You'll be amazed once you get started, the people that will come and join around you to keep going. And that's what I had. I started my journey on my own, but I kept going, and by the time it came now to my black belt grading, I had so many people behind me that there was just no way I could fail. So no matter what life throws at you, no matter what the challenge is, just keep going and others will follow you.